Good morning and welcome to another conversation with Mose. And as always, I pray life is treating you exceptionally well wherever you are in the world and that you're one day closer to your dreams and prayers coming true. And of course, my podcast wouldn't be a podcast without a poem. So this poem is called I Am Worthy, and it's taken from my book, The Joy Experience, Galatians 5:22, and it's available now where books are sold. Again, I am worthy. I am a king, beautiful inside and out. I am the sun, and I bring joy every time I open my eyes, sharing love and my testimony everywhere I go to anyone who will listen. Because I am God's child, His creation, His work of art, the embodiment of His genius. I allow Him to use me daily for whatever He chooses, despite any pain I may be experiencing. He keeps my heart beating, so I owe Him everything. No favor is too great for God. If He asks, I will do without hesitation. He watches over my family, my friends, the love of my life, and even people I don't know yet. I owe Him my life. He is always there when I need Him, 24/7, 365 days a year. Never too tired, never too busy for me. He always makes time for me, especially when I'm lonely. He comforts me, He hugs me, holds me. Most importantly, He loves me because I am worthy. And of course, I have to share a story behind that poem. Basically, I wrote that poem years ago, actually, when I was going through some things. And it was more like a futuristic poem, kind of a reminder of who I am and that I'm worthy of certain things. And I know I was feeling sorry for myself, and I was going through a period of loneliness and despair. And it was a poem that I felt like I needed to write to remind myself of my greatness. So, that being said, I needed to read that poem today because I needed to once again remind myself of my worthiness and where I am. And because, to be honest with you, I feel the emotions of depression and sadness hovering over me. And I'm really trying to not embrace that. I'm really not. Which brings me to my topic for today for the subject matter. A day in the life inside the mind of a black man. Well, this particular black man anyway. And I chose that because I really wanted to use this opportunity to just be transparent with my audience. And because I believe you've grown to expect that from me. And I do hope that this touches you in some way. But I had an incident happen this week. And I won't go into the details because they really don't matter. I'm just going to focus on the result. I lost my temper this week. I mean, it was really, really bad. I didn't do anything per se to anyone, but I was very vocal, very animated. And I'm ashamed to say I let myself get upset. Even though I felt like I was in the right, I'm not proud. It's not my proudest moment to lose myself to my anger. Even though I did feel justified. And I feel like I gave the establishment a stereotypical view of how black people act. And that's what I'm really ashamed of. And even though I know that's not necessarily true, but because again, I do feel like I had reason to react the way I did. But I'm one of those people, I'm all or nothing. It's not easy for me to just go off or to lose my temper just a little bit. I am one of those people that really go hard when I feel strongly about something or if I'm really upset about something. And again, it's something that I've been working on pretty much my whole life, as you've heard from prior podcasts. So I'm just kind of sharing my apprehension, I guess, or my attitude about feeling a little ashamed of losing myself to my anger, because I pride myself on prayer and faith, and I feel like I let God down, I let myself down. And again, it's not my proudest moment. So now I'm going through a period of letting it go and forgiving myself. Because I think that's something that black men struggle with, forgiving ourselves. Because I can honestly say, in my 20s and 30s, when I felt this way, I would do a lot of self-destructive things. When I was immature, lacked a level of security and understanding about life and my emotions, I drank liquor quite a bit in my 20s. That's why I don't drink it like I used to drink it, because it seemed to magnify my anger, and it would kind of magnify whatever I was feeling, in terms of, it would make things a lot bigger than they actually were. So to this day, I don't drink liquor like I used to. I'll drink wine, which is a totally different. It's still alcohol, but it's a totally different effect on me. And I like to drink liquor occasionally on social, socially, but not really. It's not my first choice. But I've kind of been really struggling with the incident. I'll just call it the incident. I was really struggling with the idea that I let myself get out of control. And one day maybe I will share that story, maybe I won't. But again, I want to focus on the result and how I'm feeling about it. And I want to speak to all the black men specifically that have to keep their temper in check, have to keep your emotions to yourself, or especially at work. And it really doesn't matter what field you're in terms of what industry. I think we all have the same experiences. We just handle them in a different way. But, I would definitely be curious to know, as far as feedback from, guys out there that are interested in, just kind of sharing their experiences. But it's hard to not lose your self-control. Whether you're being belittled, whether you're experiencing racism, whether you're being, I don't know, denied something, or just being dismissed, it's really difficult to not show or express yourself, whether it's your facial expressions, or how you are. And of course, we always get deemed to be monsters, or we're criminals, or we're going to try to hurt you, or we're going to be ghetto, as they say. But we're not the ones shooting up places. We're not shooting up bookstores or grocery stores or airports. We're not doing that. We may express some anger. We may lose our cool, but we're not killing people. We have our own issues and our own battles to fight, but we're not randomly killing people because we're upset. And I really feel it's unfortunate that we get this bad rap. And I'm remembering when I was young, one of the reasons why I didn't want to have any kids or even try was because I didn't want to have the same conversation with my son or daughter, because I didn't want them to know the things that I'm going through. And as much as I wish I could have been a parent, I don't want that pain. I can only imagine the pain when you lose a child, or when you're trying to explain to them the differences between white and black, and women and men, and people lying on you, people cheating on you, people hurting you. That pain that they're going to experience it. No matter what you do, no matter how perfect a parent you are, your child is going to experience some pain. Because it's actually difficult for my parents to even hear my pain. And I totally understand it. I do. I totally understand why it's hard for a parent to hear a child, no matter what their age is, to be going through any kind of pain. And it's difficult because they still look at you as their little boy, and I still look at them as my mommy and daddy, quiet as it's kept. But it's one of those things that I've learned to accept the things about myself that I absolutely love. But it's challenging at this particular juncture of my life to be learning people. We live in such a different world that I'm just so not familiar with. Such a I'm gonna get all I can by any means necessary. I'm gonna roll over anybody I can to get ahead. I've just never felt that way. So it's really difficult to socialize, to be in the same space with people that think that way. Jealous people, people that will, undermine you. There's so many things that set me off. And passive people, people that let stuff happen, passive aggressive people. And by no means am I perfect. I'm not trying to sell that, but I know I have reason to be angry. But I don't really like losing my cool, and I'm at a particular juncture where I just want to create all the time. If I can do what I love and get paid for it, I would do it. I wouldn't do it for free, but I love working for myself. I love creating. I love writing. I love my photography. I love creating things. My mind always challenges me. I'm so amazed at some of the things I've created. My book covers, I've done all my book covers except for the first book. I taught myself how to web design. I just would work on it till I got it right. I took all my pictures as far as my covers, except again, the first book, I had somebody take those pictures. But every book after that, I took myself. I designed it myself. I picked the font. I did the text, everything on the inside, and I was self-taught. And I'm proud of that. I'm not being boastful, but I taught myself how to put my books together so I wouldn't have to wait on anybody. And then, of course, it saved me a lot of money because I didn't have to pay anybody. And I'm proud of my work. I'm proud of my accomplishments. And sometimes when I get, like right now, I feel like a failure, like I failed myself. And I feel like I let myself down. And I know, again, even though you might feel right and justified in feeling the way you do, I don't like giving white people or people that are not of color, that don't understand black people's plight. I don't like giving them that space of thinking that they know us. I really don't. I pride myself on it. And I've learned from it. Trust me, I won't. It's not something I plan to do again anytime soon. And I've already, prayed about it, and I've asked God for forgiveness in terms of not really doing him justice. Even though sometimes we think that it's the devil. Oh, the devil made us do it. I would never say that. I made a choice. And then oftentimes it could be God. Sometimes God puts a situation in play to see how you're going to react. And I think sometimes he does want you to stand up and say something. It's not always the devil. I think it's easy to say that, but I think for me, there have been times that I thought it was the devil, maybe. But sometimes I think it was God putting me in situations to provoke something in me, to create something, for me to see some truth in people. I've been deceived by people that I didn't realize that were deceiving me. Sometimes God puts me in situations to reveal who people really are and what they think of you. And that's a hard pill to swallow, too. But I've had those situations. So what I've learned to do really this year is to ask God to help me be prepared for any bad news, good news, truths, because I just want to be prepared for it. If I'm going to be heartbroken, if I'm going to be hurt or disappointed, I just ask God to be there, to be my comforter. Prepare me for whatever, because I don't like feeling depressed. I don't like feeling angry because it's so non-productive. I do believe in feeling your emotions, though. I do believe in feeling it, owning it, going through the process of healing from it and then moving on. I don't believe in carrying it around. I don't believe in just holding on to it for dear life. You know, I don't believe in those things. I think you genuinely have to release your anger, release your pain, release whatever you're holding on to, because it doesn't help. It doesn't help you, it doesn't progress you, it doesn't make help you grow. So I believe in facing your fears and your pain. But I'm man enough to say that I lost my cool, and I'm really not proud of it. And it's something that I'm really going to work hard to not let happen again. Even though it's challenging, very challenging, like even with being depressed or sad. And let me also say, this has nothing to do with being suicidal. You know, I've gotten really depressed and really sad and really downtrodden, but I've never felt like I wanted to end my life. You know, I've never felt like that. You know, I value my life and what I offer to this life. I think the only thing that bothers me, I feel like I've been tormented by the wrong people. You know, I end up befriending and engaging with the wrong people that have no issues hurting me. And I have a tendency also to hold things in for a very, very long, long time. So my pain kind of explodes. And it's another something that I'm working on, not holding things in so long, because it does come out on the wrong people, and it is displaced anger. And I try to put my pain in my creativity. You know, honestly, I just put it in my creativity. I just put it there because I'm tired of explaining myself to people over and over again about what's troubling me. And it seems like the responses are the same, or they're looking at me like it's going to be something different. It's the same issue. You know, it's not, and I can admit the things that I own, the things that I create. But I always end up getting pulled into scenarios that have nothing to do with me. I mean, I can honestly say I'm a pretty boring guy. I mean, I don't really look for drama. You know, I'm pretty much quiet, keep to myself kind of person, and that's pretty much me. I've been accused of being antisocial. He's stuck up, he's this, he's that. I'm none of those things. If you really know me, and like I said, if you read my poetry books, any of them, you'll get a front seat perspective of my mind and what I think about and what I care about, what matters to me. And if you read my books with that peace of mind, you'll know that it's not about just being gay. You know, again, it's about my experiences as a black man in this country. So you're going to get a little bit of cussing, you're going to get a little bit of sadness, some joy. You're going to get a little bit of everything from this black man. And I love that. I love that even sharing this experience with you today is helping me get it out, because it's going to take some time and some healing for myself, because I feel like I rolled back a couple steps, and I hope I'm not blocking my blessings, so to speak, because I feel like maybe I am, or maybe I did. You know, was this the right thing to do? And honestly, I do stand by. I would probably did it differently, but I do stand by what I was standing up for. And the other thing is learning to be 55, which I will be in a couple months, and coexisting with the new workplace, the new world. I'm still adjusting. I'm still used to old school methods to certain things. Self-respect, respect of other people, boundaries. Everything seems to be blurred to me. Everything, there seems to be no filter for anything. You can talk about anything, wear what you want, do what you want. There seems to be no separation from home and work. Same thing with social media. People post absolutely everything. Nothing is sacred anymore. Whether you're in the hospital, if you're having a baby, if you're getting married, nothing is sacred. You want the world to see everything. And I don't believe in that. Some things I do keep sacred. I mean, some things you'll never see online. You know, it's like there's certain things, like matter of fact, I took a picture of myself in the hospital a couple years ago. I was having heart palpitations in 2020. And I took a picture of myself just for the memory to remind me of where I've come from. I didn't take it to post. I've never shared the picture with anybody. It's just something that I have in my catalog of pictures that I was in the hospital for heart palpitations. And it was one of the scariest times because I kept thinking I was going to have a heart attack. I was going to have a heart attack. And I'm in heart attack territory. So I'm very mindful of my stress level. Even depression can kill you. Anger can kill you. I could have had a heart attack while I was having my moment. That's another reason why I'm not proud of it, because I could have very well had an aneurysm getting myself that upset. So again, I'm not proud, but I'm not going to beat myself up too bad about it. Like I said, I this is kind of healing for me, talking about it, but not talking about it at the same time. But also, I want to reiterate the fact that I'm human. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm not going to get it right every single time. But I'm exhausted. Oh my God, I'm so exhausted. I'm just tired of being tired. And tired of being a one-man show. You want people to buy your books, buy your product. And it feels like I got to jump through another hoop, to get people, to convince people that I'm good. But I'm not doing that anymore. I mean, either you down with me or you're not. Listen to the podcast or don't. I'm not jumping through any more hoops for people that either it's a win-win, whether I want to see other people win, I want you to see me win. But if it's not mutual, if you're not helping me heal, and if I'm not helping you heal or be better, then we have nothing to discuss. I don't like people telling me what kind of relationship I need to have with God. I have a wonderful relationship with him. Like I said, if you read my poetry, you'll know my perspective. I don't tell people what they should do. I don't tell them you should go to church or how often they should go to church. That's between you and God. I am no way able to get you into heaven more than me. That's a journey you have to take for yourself, which is another one of those things that is very sacred to me. I mean, do we not have anything that's sacred? Even when I talk about my relationship with my family or with my partner, some things are sacred. And if it's something bad, I would never share that. Again, nobody's perfect, but some things should be sacred between you, your loved ones, people, and even things personal to you should be sacred. God has done a lot of things for me. I have stories, miraculous stories in my life that could go on and on and on. But they're between me and God. I know when God is shining on me. I know when he's winking at me. And when he's saying, good job, or I'm proud of you. I don't need to post that. I don't need to share it with everybody. He knows and I know. And the one thing for sure that I do know is that I know what I'm not going to do. I trust God and God trusts me enough to know what I'm not going to do. Yeah, I'm going to lose my temper and I'll probably lose it again. But one thing I won't do, I won't hurt anybody. I'm not going to go online and slander somebody, because you do reap what you sow. And karma is real. I believe in karma and stuff coming back to you, because things have come back to me. Lies I've told people have come back to me. And so now I just observe. I watch people and I notice things that they probably don't even know I notice. Like I said, pretty much all the time, whether I'm in my car, if I'm at work, just you notice things when you stop talking and you just observe and you listen. What people are saying, what they're not saying. I'm not saying I don't trust anybody, but I am cautious of people. Extremely cautious of the people I surround myself with. But what I won't do anymore is oversell myself. My resume, it speaks for itself. My life history speaks for itself. And if that's not enough, then oh well. But I can't stress myself out trying to be the one getting picked on the playground, because this is not the playground. This is real life. And some of us want to be liked and appreciated for what we offer. And I'm speaking to all those people out there again that are feeling some kind of way about their lives, or maybe they're not progressing, don't beat yourself up. Just dust yourself off, get back up, and get back in the game. Because it's all a game at the end of the day. And you play to win. And I don't even play to win. I play to just survive. You know, if I can see Paris before I leave this earth, I'm good. There's a lot of places in the world that I want to go see, but I've never been to Paris. You know, and it's on my bucket list per se. And like I said, I know people are like, well, why Paris? There's a lot of reasons that I won't get into that are sacred to me. You know, I would love to go to Africa too. You know, Egypt, Italy. And if I have anything to do with it, I am going to see those places. I don't care if I'm 75 years old, I'm going. But anyway, I just want to reiterate that it's okay to lose your cool. Just try not to let it happen again. Forgive yourself. Be mindful that you're human and that it's okay. But also, my podcast wouldn't be a podcast without another poem. And this is from myself as well. And this poem is from my book, My Life in the Sunshine. And this poem is called Squirrel in a Box. I feel locked in, caged and closed off from the world. I need to run free with the wind, live amongst the trees, spread my wings and fly like the eagles, because it's in my nature to be a free man, to roam, to enjoy my life outside the box, outside the cage of despair. I live in fear, being misunderstood, taken for granted, being put in a cubicle of loneliness, being locked away. No one appreciates what I have to offer. Absolutely no one. The knowledge I possess goes unnoticed. I continue to dream about my day of freedom, the day I can be accepted and nurtured and not just be the squirrel in a box. And that poem, of course, I believe is pretty self-explanatory, and I think I speak for a lot of people that may feel that way about being a squirrel in a box. It's just, if you've seen a squirrel, there's nowhere for that energy to go. And it drives you crazy just to not be able to get out of that space. So I continue to fight to get out of that space. Or I just create while I'm in that space. But also, of course, my podcast wouldn't be a podcast if I didn't talk about my store, All Things Moetic. And it's been a while since I've really talked about my store. But right now, things are tight, so I'm not able to really put any new product in there right now. But I do hope in the near future I will be adding some more product. So by all means, please stop by. But I also wanted to reiterate that there are poems and that there are prints in my store. So if you see something that you don't necessarily need the frame, let me know, because I do sell those things without the frame as well, the poetry as well as the pictures. So if you see a poem or something that you would like as a print, by all means, let me know and I'll get that to you. And also, again, thank you for, I wanted to also say about the Patreon. I'm definitely looking for people to sponsor my podcast show. I mean, I would greatly appreciate you guys. Anything you can contribute to my brand to help if you like what I'm doing and what I'm speaking on. Definitely, if you want to contribute, I would definitely appreciate it. And also, if you have any businesses, it kind of ties in. If you have a business as a sponsor, if you want me to mention it in my show, I definitely will. Like I said, if you have a book that you're selling, or music, anything you want me to mention in my podcast, I'll gladly mention it. But I would definitely appreciate any sponsorship would be wonderful, because I think we all on this journey together, and I have no issues with helping someone else as long as it's reciprocated. If it's a win-win, we all win. But as always, I want to thank you for listening and engaging with me. And I do pray that your life is exceptionally well wherever you are in the world. that you're one day closer to your dreams and prayers coming true. Thank you for listening.